today Sonia's going to share with us those 5 habits and talk to us about what she's learned, what her story is around us. So without any further ado, the studio audience and those online, let's welcome Sonia to the stage. Come on in, and I'll...
All right. Well, thank you so much. That's so nice. I like that. And I do know several of you in the room, so some of this information you may have not heard. Actually, I don't think I've presented this to any of you guys before, so this is good stuff. In addition to that, my mom just 2 years ago had a stroke that now she's in assisted living, so I've got to see that part of not taking care of her health. She was from Louisiana. They had great food. You know, she didn't exercise. All those things we're going to talk about today. And unfortunately, it's impacted our family. So my business, I've been in business, an entrepreneur. So I'm an entrepreneur for 12 years now. Been on my own. Corporate America background in telecommunications. The way I got back into health is when I was in my 20s, I was a Weight Watcher leader for Weight Watchers. So I worked for them. I lost 28 pounds. I worked for them part-time in the evenings. And then when I went on my own 12 years ago, I thought, well, what am I going to do next? What am I going to do? And so I started in the hydrotherapy industry, like selling whirlpools. This is kind of weird. And then I got into health and wellness products through my company, USANA. And then I started working for another weight loss company, and it evolved into my own company. So my message today is for entrepreneurs because I am one. So I'm talking from personal experience and the experience of my clientele base. So that's what I want to share with you today. So let's get kicked off. If you want to take notes, you probably want to, because I'm going to give you some information. Because learning, hearing it's important, seeing it's important, but writing it down, if you put those 3 things together, then this information will be more impactful to you. I'm an educator and a speaker. I have a radio show. I write for magazines, so I have a lot of experience in training. So just bear with me, write down and make it more of an impact. And then share it with your friends, of course. Okay, so let's get started. So there was a LinkedIn article that said, entitled, "You're Not Alone, 5 Worries Small Business Owners Face." Okay, so would you agree that most business owners have to face keeping the doors open, making a profit, keeping employees paid or contractors paid, depending on the type of business you have, keeping customers happy, because without referrals, we don't have customers, right? If we make our customers happy, they're going to refer us more. Keeping the electricity on, flowing the business and growing while we have time to try to eat, right? So as an entrepreneur, as a mom, as a business owner, these are all the things that we consider every single day, right? So the top concern, though, was how do I have work-life balance? Work-life balance. We've heard that term, work-life balance. Does anybody have work-life balance in the room? Anybody? Work-life balance? No. What is that, right? It's nearly impossible. So what we want to try to do, though, is create some balance the best way we can based on the fact of what kind of jobs that we have. So we're going to play a game. This is going to be fun. All right. I want you to imagine right now that I have an unlimited bank account, which hopefully one day that will be the case. Actually, one day that will be the case. And in this bank account, I have a checkbook. And we're going to buy your favorite car. Whatever car you have desired for years. I want you to actually think about, with my unlimited resources, we're going to buy your most precious car you've always wanted. So while y'all are thinking about it, because I want you to tell me what it is, mine is a Mercedes. I grew up with a lady that had a Mercedes down the street. It was red with camel hair interior convertible. It was sweet. And I've always thought, I'll arrive. That will be the symbol of my arrival with my Mercedes-Benz. So that's my desired car. So a Cadillac SUV. Linda?
A green Jaguar.
A green Jaguar. I even like the color. I love it. What about you?
I don't know. Go on.
All right.
Well, I was a Cadillac, but then I also want the DeLorean.
DeLorean. Those are
the
sport.
Yeah, it's like the Back to the Future.
Okay, a DeLorean. Let's just go with the DeLorean. Absolutely. What about you?
Oh, definitely a Tesla. Actually, I've owned. I actually had a green Jaguar, and I've had all the SUVs and stuff. I used to work for General Motors, so, and then I became a car guy. So yeah, but I'd love to have a Tesla just to see how that. I mean, I've ridden in one and love to have one, so yeah. It'd be
So
kind of fun to have.
It'd be fun to have those, right? Did you think, Mark, what kind of car you want to get?
I'm gonna go with Tesla.
A Tesla too.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want you to dream with me. I want you to picture, if you will, if you want to close your eyes and dream about this. I want you to visualize you in that car that you just picked, and it's your favorite color. It's the body style you've always wanted. It has the leather interior that you so desire. And I want you to imagine that smell, that new car smell that only the new car has. And I want you to sit in there, and I want your favorite music to be playing in the background. I really just want you to get in that car and enjoy that car for what it's worth, and just really think about it. So I'm going to ask you some questions. If you had that car, would you, and the hill season's about to start, would you park the car on the outside of the driveway or inside the garage?
In the garage.
In the garage, okay. Would you, if you had that car, would you put the cheapest gas you could find in it or high octane gas? It doesn't apply. But you make
But
sure
it'd be
to take care of
charged all the time.
it. It's being charged. If
And
you
it would
had-
always be clean.
it
And it would always be well maintained.
it'd always be clean.
Because they last longer and you can enjoy them for a lot longer.
So you would follow the maintenance of the garage. We protect. We would put the best fuel in it we could, or electricity, depending on the type of car. We would make sure. Would you wouldn't let your kids have a slushie in the backseat of this car? It would always be clean, always protected, and we follow the maintenance schedules, including the tire rotation. Everybody in agreement of this?
Yes.
Okay. So why is it, as business owners, we treat ourselves like a Yugo? We treat ourselves like a Yugo. We don't treat ourselves with that intention in mind. But let me ask you this. Without your body, does your business grow? No. Without your body, does it grow? So most people treat their bodies like a Yugo. So we're going to figure out how to solve that today. So again, this is where you want to take notes. If you want to make a little picture of a person on your notepad, because we're going to talk about each of the parts, we can do that too. Okay. All right. So the number one is the fuel that we use for our car. So we're going to be in the car today, and here's the key. Key number one is fuel. What we eat, we become. So I want you to imagine, what grocery store y'all like to shop at? Kroger?
I don't like the
Sprouts? You don't like to shop?
I have it delivered.
You have it delivered? Okay. Kroger? Okay. So imagine going into the Kroger. Kroger usually, the departments in kind of the beginning on the left side, usually depends on what Kroger you're going to. And you go into that department, right? And I want you to think about what that looks like. So I'll share a story. I went to Whole Foods the other night. It was late, and I went into their produce department, and they had just stocked it. So it was beautiful. I mean, it was perfectly arranged with all the colors. And notice when you're in the grocery store and you're in that department, notice it's very colorful, right? It's a little colder in that side of the store, a little colder. So perfectly arranged, always beautiful, always fresh. Do you feel more energy in that part of the store? Yes. So that's how I felt. I felt like I was in like a secret little place because there was no one there, and it was beautifully arranged, and the color was great. But then if you walk over to the cereal aisle, what's your vibe?
Dark and scary.
It's dark and scary and very boxed and very brown, right? So most of us, this is reversed for most of us. But this is truly key number one, fuel. What you eat, you become. So you want to make sure you're eating the right macronutrients. Macro means big. You want to eat a lot of these big nutrients. And they come from the veggies and the fruits. That's the top. Most of us don't get 7 to 9 servings of these each day. But if we did, do you think it'd make a difference on how we felt?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So the food plate needs to be half of fruits and vegetables, a quarter of lean protein, a quarter of whole grains. That's what truly the diet of most people need to be, but they don't. They usually reverse that. They're usually a big slab of meat and a little bit of veggie and maybe some okay whole grains in the diet. We want healthy fats, and we want to minimize some things. Because remember, if we go back to the fuel analogy, beautiful, wonderful produce department, it's bright, it's colorful, it's lovely. Or it could be you drive up and it's handed to you in a brown bag by a teenager. So if your food's coming from that type of resources, you're not getting the proper and healthy balance. So just keep that in mind. Every once in a while, again, it's not bad, but I'm saying if you want to have the energy you need to run your business and to feel the energy and feel happy and to be in a better mood and to deal with your customers and grow your business, you need to fuel with the right fuel. We want to minimize sugar. Sugar is a big deal for a lot of people. So I do have a sugar detox called Kick Sugar to the Curb. If you know of anyone that's interested in that kind of thing, send it to me, because sugar can cause us to have headaches, lethargic, we don't work as hard, we don't do as much. White flour foods, so tortillas and white bread, anything that's white, typically you want to have minimal of. Processed foods, which we kind of talked about, dairy. Let me say this, and this is the tip. This is $1 million tip here. If you eat food that makes your stomach hurt, or you feel gassy or bloated or just not good after you've eaten it, you probably want to avoid that. And those foods are typically the gluten type foods, the white flour foods, and the dairy products. So just be an awareness of that. If you're not feeling good, because if you're not feeling good, you're not going to go do the next sales call. You want to make sure you feel good. Caffeine and alcohol. Now, people hate me on these two. But if your barista at your local Starbucks knows you by your first name, you're going there too often, right? And you're spending $5 on coffee every day. And people say, well, I don't have enough money to afford healthy food. Well, I bet if I looked in your budget, I could find some money for some healthy foods. Because truly, you can eat very healthy on a budget. And alcohol. A lot of business owners, what they do is they come home and they have their glass of wine or two or a bottle. And that's how they unwind for the evening. Unfortunately, though, if we do that on a consistent basis, other things happen, like not getting enough sleep, which is going to be part of my talk in just a minute. So just want you to be aware. American Heart Association says 1 to 2 glasses of wine a night is great. If it's red wine, I say you leave that for the special occasion. You know, we want to really look at that, because these are actually calories too. So if weight loss or getting your stone cold abs is what you want, these are type of the foods that you want to avoid in order to get that. You need to get the fluff off in order for the abs to show. So I know that may not be a message I want to hear, but it's the truth. It's the truth. At lunch, right? So thinking about the food pyramid, that's what we want to do. And so that's our fuel that we're going to have every day. So key number 2 is the oil change. So we would certainly, if we had the car, my Mercedes-Benz, I would follow the 3,500 mile oil change schedule and make sure the oil was changed. So how does it relate to us? Well, you have to hydrate. And water is the elixir of life. And a lot of people have trouble. They say, I don't like water. I don't, and y'all all are drinking it too, that I said that. Which is good. Y'all should drink. So I want to make a case for water. It's very overlooked. It's a micronutrient that's very overlooked. So if you have headaches during the day, or you have achy joints, or you're constipated, just keeping it real, or you just feel kind of ucky, it might be the fact that you're not hydrated enough. And 70% of our body, about 2/3, is made of water, and if we don't give it the water back, it'd be like a plant dying. So if you imagine you got a brand new plant and you put it in your yard, but you never went and watered it, what would eventually happen to the plant? It would die. It would turn brown, and eventually it would die. And that's how water is for people. And I had a client she had migraines horribly all the time. And we started tracking her water intake and discovered that she was not drinking enough water every day. So I said, here's a challenge. For 1 week, just drink this. I know it's going to be, you feel like it's something you cannot do, but let's just try it for 1 week. See how it worked. And over the 1 week of drinking the water that she should, her headaches went away. Huh, interesting. But not only does that, it releases toxins from our body. It's our transport system. It also regulates our body temperature and keeps our pH balanced. A high acid body is a breeding ground for cancer. So you want your pH balance to be like it is. It helps migraines, heartburn, metabolism. Do you know it helps spike up your metabolism? So if weight loss or getting slimmer is part of your deal, water's going to help you get there. In addition to not only the fact that it helps with weight loss. A lot of people think they're hungry, and they're truly just thirsty. So a good tip is if you're hungry, like I'm hungry, drink some water. wait a few minutes and see what happens. You'll probably find you're just very thirsty. If you're already thirsty, that means you've already depleted too much. You want to stay on top of the water. And do we have any people have a hard time with water in the room? All y'all good water drinkers? The rule of thumb is half your body weight in ounces up to about 100 ounces. So if you weigh 200 pounds, 100 ounces of water is about what you need to do. All right, so just keep that in mind. So water is our oil change. We need to have that oil change every 35,000 miles in order for that beautiful car that you've decided you wanted to have works properly. So let's talk about your tires. You know how expensive tires are these days? Why is that? Anybody got some insight in that? So key 3, tires. Because what?
A lot of them are made in, that take less and less labor to produce. It's robotics.
Mm-hmm.
They've automated all that.
Yeah. I used to work in my corporate job. EDS and GM, this is total sidebar, was one of my customers. And I would train on voicemail systems in the GM plant. And it was really interesting to see, that whole system that they have. Every station the car would go to, station to station to station. But interesting enough, the employees are only trained on one station, and they stay there all day on that station. They weren't multi-trained. It was the craziest thing I ever heard. So all I would do is maybe put the tire on the car. Next car. That's all I did all day long. It was crazy. I'm like, do y'all not cross-train? But they didn't. And I don't know. That made me think of that when you said that. Not the kind of job we like as entrepreneurs. We like flexibility and different things, right? So rotating your tires. So I'm going to use this as an analogy. Your cells in your body, you have over 70 trillion of them. They haven't really been able to count them all, right? They'd have to, I don't know how they would do that. But there's 70 trillion cells or more in your body. And your cell is your life source. And that little cell works really hard to keep you healthy. People that are sick is because their immune system has been compromised and their cells have been compromised. So your cells are something you need to look at as well. And so you can do that through micronutrients. So vitamins and minerals are those smaller things that come from those macronutrients that we use. So when I started coaching clients, I did a kind of my own clinical trial. I had clients that were on a program to lose weight without any help from supplementation. And then I had clients that were on my program that did, I call it my trifecta, right? And I had them do both. And they ran at the same time. The people that did not maximize the opportunity around nutrition with the micronutrients lost weight slower than the people that did. And the reason, even though the diets were the same, the program was the same, but the reason is those little micronutrients play a big role in how our body works. We can't get it all from food anymore. So my top ones I recommend for everybody is a full spectrum multivitamin. So multivitamins have all your ABCs and all your mineral vitamins. You want an omega-3. We live in Dallas, Texas. We're not eating fish every day. And if you get it, sometimes it's not even tasty. So you need that omega-3. That's a fatty acid that helps our brain, our heart, our inflammation. Because remember, we want to have low inflammation because more inflammation causes other stuff to happen. Vitamin D. How many people are in the sun every day? Y'all sun tanning like we used to do in the 80s? No. Well, how are you getting your vitamin D then? You have to supplement. That's really the only way to get it. Unless you can eat a lot of vitamin D enriched foods, but you still have to supplement. And this is applicable to teenagers and kids too. So you've got kids at home, grandkids, same thing. You need an active calcium, especially over the age of 40, which is most people here in our live audience. And then glucosamine. If you find that your joints are hurting and your hips are hurting, again, in addition to making sure you're drinking proper water, glucosamine is a joint formula. Those are my top recommendations. As he mentioned earlier, my company I use is USANA. I can help you if you need that help. I have an assessment you can take and help you. And if your doctor's probably giving you a list of things you should be doing too. But I want to show you this. Be educated consumers. This book is called Dietary Supplements, Creating Expensive Urine or a Key to Modern Medicine. What this book says, for the ones that think, I don't need that, I eat healthy all day long. Okay. What they found out is the Journal of American Medical Association, that it appears that people who have enough vitamins may be able to reduce common illnesses, cancer, heart disease, and osteoporosis. Most people do not consume optimal amounts of vitamins in diet alone, and it appears prudent for adults to take vitamin supplements. So they make a case for why you want them, but this book is a compendium that will show you where your product or the product you're thinking about taking ranks. This is a comparative guide, nutritional supplements. They've now analyzed 1,500 supplements out there, or brands, and they rank system 1 to 5, 5 being the best. So, be an educated consumer. If I'm going to spend the money on product, which I should, I want to make sure I'm taking the best. And so if you want to look up your product at the end of the seminar today, you can certainly do that. I use a 5-star gold medal editor's choice for my clients and myself. So that's why I've picked the company I picked. So that's part of it. So I eat big macronutrient foods along with my water. I layer that with my micronutrients, which is my supplements, right? So now I have a comprehensive nutrition, so my body works better, so I can do more for my business. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Yep, okay. And clean the car. That was one of the first things we said. If I had that car, there'd be no McDonald's in it. Well, I don't eat McDonald's anyway. None of my family does. But I wouldn't junk it up with trash in my car. So how does it apply to us? Well, one of the oversights is we need to take care of our interior as well as our exterior. People judge you by the book by the cover. It is what it is. I'm being honest. People judge you on how you look. People say, I don't know if I like how their hair looks, so maybe I won't do business with them. Or, maybe they're not dressed professionally enough for me to have a conversation. So keep that in mind. But what they also judge is how healthy do you look? Are you a vibrant part of your business? Are you out there promoting what you need to promote? And part of that is how your physical appearance is. Our skin and our eyes reflect our health. So I can look at someone and I can tell by looking in their eyes how healthy they are. And it's been, training, years of training, but I can tell how healthy someone is. I can tell if you've been drinking the night before by looking at you. Again. But the reason is, whatever you do to your body, your car, it's going to reflect on the outside too. So just a couple of keys here is to minimize toxic products. So be an educated consumer on what you put on your body as far as your personal care products. I choose to use a personal care product that doesn't have parabens or formaldehydes because I don't want that in my body. Men are about average 4 to 6 products every day, and women are about 12. Of stuff we put on our body to clean our car, right? So you want to make sure because whatever you put on goes in, so you need to be aware of that. The other thing is liver detoxification. We live in a toxic world. We do. Just driving here today, we got toxed up by all the chemicals that are in the air. So if we can take control over detoxing our personal body through liver detoxification, making sure our kidneys are working well, make sure our digestive system is working. That's part of keeping the inside-outside clean. And I do have some programs around that if you're interested in finding out more. And then a healthy routine. Okay, if you don't take anything away from this is the deal. As business owners, we're really busy. We're trying to balance. I'm a mom of 2 teenagers. I'm married. I have 2 companies. I do a lot. I'm out networking, I'm doing presentations, education, I have a radio show, I write for articles. I'm busy, right? But what I found and what I've used in my business for my clients is if you find yourself in a practice every day, like I call it the morning miracle practice, you set your day up for success. So meditation and people that are spiritual, maybe some words with God, just to start the day off. I know there's a book called The Morning Miracle. It's an easy read. You can download it on Audible. It shows you, he has like an example. So getting up first thing in the morning, maybe doing some gratitude, doing some actual meditation. You can get the Calm app on your phone. Setting up your day for success, going out and look at your goals. Just some kind of practice. So I know that if I do my practice, I am laser focused that day. I am getting stuff done. If I don't do my practice, I'm a little more, well, squirrel, Facebook, what's going on with her, right? So getting into a practice every day will be helpful, and it'll actually make your business grow. If you get into a practice where you're set and you're paying attention to what you want to do and you meditate. Deep breathing, exercise needs to be a part of your daily ritual. Now, I'm not saying you have to go run a marathon or go to a kickboxing class or join the gym. Some type of activity that we move our bodies and burn at least 150 calories every single day. It could be walking your dog, yard work, simple things like that. But find something you really like to do and go do it. There's no excuse really not to. Because if you are doing your routine, you need to schedule that in your appointment book like an appointment. Make an appointment with yourself first before you make an appointment with others. So I rearranged my whole schedule. Once I figured that out, I rearranged my whole schedule where the first thing in the morning it's about me so I can take care of my clients for the rest of the day because that makes better sense. I'm more for them if I'm got myself taken care of. And then downtime. Make sure if you office from the home, most of you guys. It's really easy to go back into the office at night. Using a time blocking system, schedule your time in the office and schedule your time outside the office, shut the doors, and at the end of the day, lock the door, throw away the key until the next morning. Because we got to have downtime. Going back in and trying to do some work later typically doesn't produce what we think it's going to produce. So just schedule your day like you're going to your job and have some downtime with your family and friends. My son will be 13 tomorrow. My daughter just turned 16 last month. Like that. Like that. My 20th anniversary was Tuesday. Like that. And I'm like, thank God I have a job or a career that allows me to stay home with my family and be there, because like that, 20 years passed.
Right.
And in a heartbeat, they're gone. So just be aware of that. And then personal care. Get your massage. Get your facial. Go get your Reiki. Go get your toes and your nails done. Go get reflexology. Do those things every month. Schedule yourself time in, because that's cleaning the interior, exterior. If we're in a better place, our clients will be in a better place too. And then the last key is our maintenance schedule, which we said we would follow if we had that car. I love this picture. I love babies. I'm so glad I don't have them. But I do love them. Yes. Okay. Who sleeps a good 8 hours a night in the brain?
6 to 7.
6 to 7?
Yeah. 7.
7-ish?
7-ish.
7?
Yeah.
You don't want to know.
Okay.
3 to 5.
No, 3 to 5? Oh my. Okay. If you didn't know, take any notes up until this point, this is the way you want to try. Okay. So I'm here to give you the information you need to be a healthy entrepreneur to be successful, right? So I'm not going to lie to you. I would never lie to you. I would always tell you the truth. Sleep is the pivotal point for health. If you don't sleep, your body's going to, that 100,000 mile warranty that you wanted is going to be like 65, right? If you think it in the car analogy, your car is going to break down. And it may not break down the way you want it to either. So let's talk about it. Sleep, the only time you do any repairing, by the way, is when you're sleeping. So like when you turn off your cell phone and you charge it, or your cars or your computer, that's the time that your phone next day. So it's the same for us. That's when we power up. But not only do we power up during the day, for the day, all of our cellular repair is happening then. So all those little cells are working hard to repair with the damage from the day. It doesn't happen when we're walking around. It only happens when we're sleeping. And we need that nice restorative sleep that our bodies crave. So if you wake up in the morning and the barista knows your name, or you're taking a cup or two of coffee in the morning, that means you haven't had enough sleep. You should jump out of bed, time for the day. Most people don't do that. I don't do it every day. But the majority of the time I do. I wake up refreshed and ready to go. If that's not the case, friends, because we're friends now, You got to figure that out, because this is the pivotal point. If you're tired during the day, you will not perform during the day like you want, and you will not create the income you would like because you're tired. If you're visiting back at the coffee pot at 2 o'clock or your soda at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you have not had restorative sleep. Okay? People say, I'm fine, I have a cups of coffee, I'm good. Well, we shouldn't have to have coffee to get our restorative sleep. So here's the tips. Do not watch TV 30 minutes before bed. Do not have a TV in your bedroom. The reason is all that component of the TV, all the light, there's like multiple millions of things happening. It actually stimulates us to stay awake. So your room needs to be like the womb or like the cave. In the caveman days, all the people would go into the cave at night to protect themselves and to do their sleep and protect themselves from the predators out, right? Because that's when things would roam. And they'd wake up during the morning and go do their stuff, right? We should be the same way. We should
May I add
sleep.
computer?
No computers, no iPads.
Yeah, all of that.
True, thank you for, yes. Anything that has an on and off button, 30 minutes before bed, it needs to be off. And please, anybody that puts their phone near their head at night to sleep, and you can't sleep at night, that's the reason why. Wherever your head lays within a 5-foot perimeter, back the wall behind you too, so the plugs behind your bed should be electronic free. Okay? If you want good restorative sleep that's going to keep you alive and healthy. Your last meal should be 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed. So don't, eat at 10 and go to bed. And go to bed at 10:30. You should probably finish eating though between the 7 and 8 o'clock period at the latest. Limit your caffeine intake. So the person that wakes up got to have caffeine to keep going, and then at 2 o'clock I got to have some more caffeine to keep going. Then it tends to keep me up at night. So if you're going to have caffeine before 12 o'clock, it should be a good rule of thumb. Watch out for alcohol before bed. I'm not going to point any fingers or ask this question, but I just want y'all to think about this. If you go to bed after drinking in the night and you don't sleep very well, and you wake up a couple of times, it's because your body processes at night. Remember, the liver around 2 to 4 o'clock in the morning is when that thing processes. So if you're waking up in that window, you need to look and see what happened the night before. Alcohol, it will get you to sleep, but it will not keep you to sleep. Keep your room golden dark. We talked about that. Sleep naked. Okay, so our product company, USANA, is partners and sponsors of the Dr. Oz show. So we've had the fortunate pleasure to have Dr. Oz come to our conventions for 4 years in a row. So we've kind of got to know him more as a person versus a celebrity. And he did his talk on sleeping. And his recommendation is sleep naked with only socks on. Cold room, in the dark. That's the best restorative sleep you can have. Now, I have teenagers. That's probably not going to happen in my house at the moment. But if you have that opportunity, that may be something to think about. So sleep it cold, and melatonin if needed. People that are on Ambien and all these other Lucera, that's a chemical that will have side effects. So if sleeping is an issue, you need to clean up your sleeping habits and then use a pure melatonin to give you that additional. Because what happens at night is, this is the biological system. When it starts to get darker, I start to produce melatonin. Melatonin is my sleep drug, my natural sleep hormone. And as it gets darker, I get tired, right? And when the light comes up, guess what? I wake up. So that's why you also don't want any electronics close to your head, because if you have to get up in the middle of the night, you want that alarm clock not to wake you up, or that cell phone not to pop up, or that iPad, or that TV you left on, because you will wake up and then you'll be back without that cycle. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So sleeping in the dark, sleep naked, sleep like a baby. Just sleep like a baby. That's really what you want to do. So we covered the 5 key healthy habits that a business owner can use to help, not only help their business, but help themselves so they can help their business. I have 2 requests. The first one is this. If you know of anyone or groups that would be for this type of information, I'd love that referral. Just text me or email me, and I'll be glad to connect with them. But my second thing I want y'all to think about is a question. My question is this. Of all the things we talked about today, and today is April the 20th?
21st.
21st. Okay. So we're into the second quarter of the year, and all of us probably sat down at the end of last year and made some goals around our business as well as our health, like you had mentioned earlier. Where are you in those? This is April. You're 4 months in the year. So of all the things you talked about, what is the one thing, and you have on your list, what is the one thing you'd like to change or improve or amplify in your health today that would make a difference, that would really truly make a difference in how you feel? So when you feel good, your business grows. And if you know what that is, or when you know what that is, I'd love to help you. And if I'm not the right resource, I'll find the resources for you, because I partner with people as well. So I would just leave you with that question. What's the one thing? And if you know what it is, you want to put it in your card and hand it to me, I'll have a conversation with you, and I'll help you figure out how to get there. Because this is the asset. This is the car we drive. We don't get to turn it in and change the model. We only get one. So hopefully that information was good, and you learned at least one thing to take home with you. Again, my name is Sonia Cabell. My company is Creating Healthy Lifestyles, and reach out through my website, soniacabell.com.
Well, thanks, Sonia. That was awesome, and I would say I did confess that I run about 3 to 5 hours. Actually, 5 is my natural, but I'm weird. Okay, but I don't drink anymore. But caffeine, 3 was more the norm back in the day. Back when I was doing it because I drank a lot of coffee, and I did need the coffee, did need the caffeine, did need the drugs, if you will, to keep me going. And so yeah, developing these habits, but. Again, as Sonia said, there's a lot of different things about taking care of your car. You'd like to do everything at once, and I can tell you that I won't get to my goal without doing some things around my diet and things like that. I'm a big believer in supplementation, and I'll tell you, I haven't been sick for 15 years. I literally have not been down sick for 15 years. And guess how long I've been?
Knock on for my person.
Well, no, I know a lot of it is just certain decisions that I made about 11 years ago. So for about 11 years, I've been doing really regular supplementation and those kinds of things to make sure those micronutrients are in place. Probably my macronutrient consumption. I still eat a lot for pleasure. I still eat a lot for, as a business owner, you do. You have, okay, let's grab lunch, let's grab dinner, let's have a drink, let's do this, right? I mean, that's what we do. And again, balance. But there's certain things, if you're going to have goals, you have to do to achieve. So, Sonia, that was great. I appreciate it for those on Facebook Live. Hopefully, this will be of value to you. And we'll be doing it again next Friday. We'll have another session. And we have our mixer on. For those that want to meet us, if you're here in the Dallas area and you want to meet us live, we have a mixer at Snuffers in Richardson on Campbell Road at 5:30 on Monday. And so I invite folks to be here. And again, reach out to Sonia if you need any help. Her information is here. And again, I'm looking for more speakers for more meetings. I'm over at this group over here by the Doubletree. I'm recruiting some of these speakers to come join us when they're in town or when they're here. So again, thank you for doing this. Hopefully this will be a benefit to you. And let's give Sonia one more hand, and I'm going to go.
Right? Because what are you expecting? Awesome. Every time you're expecting awesome. Every single time.
Right. I'll give you a real example.
Okay.
My stepdaughter is a millennial. We had dinner with them the other night, and she goes, "Oh, this food is delicious." And I noticed she uses the word delicious. We don't hear about that much